Hi guys, Amira here. So today is Wednesday, Wisdom Wednesday. So today I want to talk about self-compassion. Okay, so anybody out there who needs help with learning how to have self-compassion, this book is amazing for us negative thinkers. It's taken a lot of work. It's taken a lot of self-awareness to be a positive thinker, right? Because I trained my own self as a child to always go to the negative. Think of the negative first. And when you do that, it is self-sabotaging. So having self-compassion, it's kind of like this. If you're somebody who has a lot of compassion for other people, if you imagine having that type of compassion that you have for other people, for yourself at all times. Okay? So let's talk about self-compassion and emotional intelligence. So self-compassion is a powerful form of emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence involves the ability to monitor your own actions and to skillfully use this information to guide your thinking and action. Being aware of your feelings without being hijacked by them so that you can make a wise choice. Okay? Big thing in the beginning of my relationship with my wife is when we would get into an argument, my first instinct is to bolt. Because that insecure person in me was like, she's shutting down, which means she doesn't like me, she doesn't care about me, she doesn't want me, she's ignoring me, doesn't talk to me. That's making myself feel low because I'm giving that negative feedback to myself. I'm unwanted, I'm undesired. So I would rather leave a situation where I feel unwanted, undesired. I would rather leave the house, right? So anytime we got into an argument, to avoid a hurt feeling of feeling rejected, I would be like, I'm out. I'm leaving. When you're ready to talk, call me. Okay? I did not want to feel the hurt of being ignored because that brings up feelings for me that I don't want to feel. I don't like being ignored. I don't like being put down. It made me feel unwanted, right? So I would automatically leave. That was my big thing when we first met. When she'd shut down and not want to deal with me or whatever, to protect my own feelings, I would leave. And the really tricky part about our relationship in the beginning, my wife has post-traumatic stress disorder. And when we first met, I took all of these were her issues. There's a lot of things that happen when you have post-traumatic stress disorder. And a big part of having PTSD is reliving the things that happened to you, right? It had nothing to do with me, but I took on all of those days of wanting to be sad in the dark, those type of things. I took them as, she doesn't want me, she doesn't love me, she doesn't want to be around me, so I'm just going to remove myself from the situation so I don't feel hurt. And her defense mechanism when we were fighting in the beginning is to shut down. I have control of the situation. I'm going to ignore Amira for as many days as I feel hurt. But really, she's sad about something that I did or said that I had no intention or meant to do. And so you kind of feed off of that with each other. And the thing is, if we had self-compassion and understood about self-compassion back then, those little triggers and those things probably wouldn't have happened. So I hope that makes sense. Me, for an example, math. I don't like numbers. I will try to avoid numbers at all costs. Same thing as a student, as a child. I was poor at school. I didn't even want to attempt to study because I'm like, nope, I'm stupid. I'm dumb. I don't know how to study. I'm not smart. So I would just avoid it. Instead of attempting it and trying to be a good student, I just avoided it, right? So another good, okay, so self-compassion gives us the calm courage needed to face our unwanted emotions head on, right? I love this book. I love this book. So let me read that again. Self-compassion gives us the calm courage needed to face our unwanted emotion head on. So if you're having a situation or an emotion that is unwanted, you don't want to feel hurt, you don't want to feel scared, you don't want to feel abandoned, you're going to do something that's pretty much self-sabotaging just to avoid that experience. If you have self-compassion for yourself, you're going to look at situations that are scary, like for me, numbers and being a network marketing freak right now. I know for sure I will always be in network marketing no matter what it is. I will find something that I'm in love with and I will be my own boss, right? In the beginning, it terrified me. Like, what am I doing? Like, I can't do this. I'm not a salesperson. I can't, and there's no way. Instead of looking at it like, you know what, Amira? You love the products, and all you need to do is share the products. It's not about being salesy. You are sharing what you love with whatever product it is. You are sharing it with the world. It's not about being a salesman, right? So, another really cool thing, painful feelings are by their very nature temporary. They will weaken over time as long as we don't prolong or amplify them through resistance or avoidance. Okay? We tend to make our suffering last longer because we are trying to avoid the feelings. If we can sit back and say, this is how I feel. I feel sad because this. I feel worried because of this, but it's okay. And deal with the situation in an open-minded manner, we can dissolve that insecurity. Does that make sense? So I'm going to read this again. Painful feelings are, by their very nature, temporary. So painful feelings are temporary. They will weaken over time as long as we don't prolong or amplify them through resistance or avoiding. Don't avoid what scares you. You know, don't avoid what scares you. Okay? Really quick before I wrap up, I want to read 2 quotes. And one is, a moment of self-compassion can change your entire day. A string of moments can change the course of your life. So let me read that again. A moment of self-compassion can change your entire day. A string of such moments can change the course of your life. And then the other one is, imagine if we obsessed about the things we loved about ourselves. That's very short and sweet, right? If we spent our day, instead of thinking of all the negative things that we hate about ourselves, because that negative self-talk, it's a killer, right? If we spent our day obsessing over all the things we love about ourselves, can you imagine how amazing we would be if we spent time obsessing over all the things we love instead of the things we hate? So, I'm Amira, and I'm going to be doing this every Wednesday, a different topic. If you guys have certain things that if you have to private message me, I'm okay with that. I love doing this. I love helping other people, and I love you guys. Mwah. Thanks.